This is a DIY trigger and gate sequencer. You can probably guess which module this is kind of, if you like, based on. But it just uses a Launchpad Mini and a Teensy 4.1. So I'll get into more detail a bit later on. But very basic features. It has your standard left to right 808 style programming. So you've got 8 channels. Each channel here. But I'm just going to quickly mute these so it just makes it a bit easier. Come back to that vertical view in a second. But for each, I've muted it, doesn't work. Let's go back. Unbelievable. I've muted it, so obviously it's not going to send anything out. So for each channel, you can send out a trigger or a gate. So if I leave this on here, obviously trigger and a gate, but that's currently set up to a kick drum, a hi-hat, snare and a hi-hat. And you just program it however you would normally program sequencer. In vertical mode, you have the ability to switch between each channel. So it's just the third column here is just each individual step, and then you've got each channel. There you go. So within has the concepts of groups and presets, kind of the Russian doll type typical kind of analogy. So for preset 1, we've obviously got something going. For preset 2, we don't have anything, so we can either set it up from scratch, or if we wanted to, kind of preset 1, if we quite like that as a starting point, we can copy preset 1 and we can paste that. Let's just paste it in the first 5. So now the first 5 presets all have the same starting point, but obviously you can tweak it as you go through. So let's put preset 2, let's say we want slightly more snares. Well, preset 3, we want maybe a bit more hi-hats, and 4, we're happy with that, but maybe we want an extra slightly different drum. So you get the idea. So you can switch between the presets, and within each group you can have 8 presets. So at the moment we're on group 1. If I move to group 2, I've already got something in there. Let me clear that. I can clear either a channel, a preset, or a group, depending. So fairly destructive. Clear and then do 1, 2, or 3. We'll just get rid of everything that's in it. There's no undo, so just be careful. So go back to group 1, preset 1. This is the vertical mode. You can then mute individual channels and bring them in as you wish. You can also solo a channel, so if you just wanted the drums, a couple of seconds, that will just solo that. Again, a couple of seconds, brings it back. Copy, so we covered copy, paste, and clear. The tempo. So there's 2 rotary encoders here. We'll come on to the second one in a later video with slightly more features. But you can, the rotary encoder just changes the tempo, so it's whatever you want it to be. You can get pretty fast. 220 is the upper limit, which made sense to me, because why would you want anything that high? But you might do. So it's obviously you can use a rotary encoder. You can tap the tempo if you want to, kind of bring it back down to something a little bit more normal. And then you can fine tune it. Here we go. So that's the tempo, the beat. So I mentioned individual presets. You can move them. At the moment we're on this kind of beat mode, which you just will jump to presets as soon as you press it, wherever you are. The other side of the beat mode will then change it when it gets to the end of the step. So it's not, it's just slightly more musical in that if you wanted to go for preset 3, it would wait to the end of that particular sequence before jumping over. And same with that one. But you can probably just jump between whichever one you want. And obviously it's the same with groups and presets. You then have the concept of a reset. So it just sends out a trigger. So hook it up to whatever you want. I've got this hooked up to reset. what's it called, clock multiplier. But let's just step 4. I've got it hooked up to a really simple envelope generator, which is hooked up to a VCA controlled by a very simple sequence. It's just a baby 8. So at the minute, if I just turn it on always, told you it's a really bad sequence. It's probably just gone out of tune. But yeah, you can have a combination of gates and triggers. So if we just kind of do and let's just reset that. You get the idea. So it's a gate and trigger sequencer. So depending on which modules you've got, you can have fun with that. It does output 3.3 volts only because I'm not doing anything special. There's no op amps or anything on the version I've got, and the prototype that I'm working on at the moment is still very much work in progress. But gotta have your 8 outputs. It's got a clock output and a reset output, which I've got hooked up here in demo. It also has the ability, with a few more features, a clock input and a reset input, so it can, be controlled by other sequences, other modules that you have. Let's just simplify that for a second. So you get the idea there. So it's reset, start, stop. So SD card in the Teensy 4.1, that's just a 2 gig SD card. Just format it, and then when you hit stop, it will save everything that you've got stored to the SD card. So again, future videos, there's additional features because it's an SD card, you can control it, so there's no reason why you can't have X number of save points, which is what I'll be demoing in a future version. You can have 64 save points, and you have instant load ability between 8 of them, so you can jump between 8 different sequences you've got programmed across all of them, and a whole bunch of other features. So that's the very basic Cavian. All this is available on my GitHub. Load, install, have a play with it. All you need is a Teensy and the ability just to hook something up to an output. There's different, this is the way I have this set up at the moment, is just going into a LAN cable, which again sends out six triggers to the modules that I've got on my rack. I've also get this demo version here. Prior to this, I had, I think that's a cat food box with a bunch of 3.5 jacks on it and just some wires and a ground cable. So, I had this running just like this for months before I even started to play around with JLC PCB and EasyEDA, which is great fun. But yeah, go and make one. They're really good fun. You don't need the LEDs and the resistors. This is just to kind of, to highlight. This is all coming out of this. Driven by 5 volts. Again, I've not put anything up with a 12 volt input. It's just run by the standard USB power connector. It was just the easiest thing for me to set up. It draws about 0.1 to 0.15 amps. So it's pretty low power usage, but 0.5 watts. I don't know if that's a lot, but doesn't seem a lot to me. I've not had any problems with this. I've got 2 Teensys. I've been running them for best part of a year now, with no problems. 3.3 volts seems to be enough for the modules that I've built. Hopefully it'll be enough for other people out there as well. You can obviously enhance it, I guess, with some additional transistors to switches to power on 5 volts or have an op amp or something. But I've not needed that. And I'll also talk about the other encoder in a future video, which again, more features. But please like and subscribe. Go and build this, have fun. Tag me, tag Cavian on Instagram if you're also building one. And thanks for watching. Take care. Cheers.